Have you ever heard that weather can win a war? Well, you may not be able to prove that it can win a war, but you can sure prove that it can change the outcome of a few battles. In fact, weather may have changed the course of the U.S. Civil War. I'm WeatherBug meteorologist Rachel Peterson. Let's start by taking a look at a nor'easter that hit Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, January 1862. Union fleets were headed to the Carolinas, hoping to attack the major ports of North and South Carolina when the storm hit. Many of the ships carrying horses, hay, ammunition, and other supplies were wrecked by the nor'easter along the shore, destroying everything. The wrath of the storm was so strong, many of the ships found shelter in the Hatteras Inlet. Even in the harbor, the seas and the wind were still too rough to land, and the soldiers weren't allowed to swim to shore for fear they'd drown. Hence, the mission failed, prolonging the conflict between the two sides. 10 months later, in November 1862, the Union Army on the move toward Richmond sat waiting at the banks of the Rappahannock River near Fredericksburg, Virginia. The materials to build a pontoon bridge across the water were still more than 50 miles away, delayed partly because of the weather. The Army could only watch and wait until the supplies arrived. Half of the supplies were shipped downriver to Aquia Creek, just outside Fredericksburg, Virginia. The other half of the supplies were sent by land, but the supplies sent by land faced 2 days of steady rain. The heavy equipment and the muddy roads made for excruciatingly slow progress. 3 days out of Washington, the supply train reached the Occoquan River, which was flooded from the recent rain. Troops had to build a bridge to cross the swollen stream, which delayed them even more. After 2 weeks of fighting muddy roads, rain, sleet, and flooded rivers, the pontoon bridge building supplies were finally delivered. The Confederate Army arrived 5 days earlier and stood ready to defeat the Union Army in the Battle of Fredericksburg when they crossed the river. 1 year later, in November 1863, the Battle Above the Clouds took place near Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Confederate soldiers sat on top of Lookout Mountain while Union soldiers advanced toward the mountain, concealed under a thick layer of fog. Mother Nature's camouflage was an advantage until the soldiers were ordered to fire. Two sides fought blindly in the dense fog, resulting in fewer casualties, while the Confederate troops withdrew and lived to fight another day. It just goes to show you that Mother Nature, or in this case, unforeseen weather, can have a huge impact on the outcome of a battle, helping and hurting both sides. So did weather help the North win and the South lose the entire war? I doubt it. But if there hadn't been a nor'easter, heavy rain, or fog, the outcome of at least these 3 battles may have ended differently.